Hey there, I'm Angela Raspass, a self-leadership coach, mentor, and facilitator, and I'm here with another self-leadership snippet for you. Now, today I'm going to make you aware of two pitfalls that could be either taking you off the path to the success that you're looking for in your business and in your career, or not even allowing you to get on the path in the first place. Now, the first of these are what I've called passive drift. Now, this means rather than proactively steering your own course towards the goals and outcomes that are most important to you, you're just allowing yourself to drift along, reacting to circumstances that happen, rather than that real proactive approach. Now, the second pitfall is what I call mimic mode, where instead of actually deciding this is the sort of strategy that I want to develop that's in alignment with me, you're seeing what other people are doing and going, oh, I'm going to try that one too. Now, neither of these pitfalls are easy to spot at first until someone shines the light of awareness on them and you get a little bit honest about what's happening with you. But once you have that awareness, you can turn to the opposite, which is called intentional action, which I'll outline for you in just a moment. But first, let's just understand what is it that causes those passive drifting and mimic modes to happen in your world. Now, this can often be because of external circumstances. There are norms that you feel that you need to conform to in your industry or just as a woman in business. And some of these are unconscious in terms of not being too big for your boots and not being seen as too assertive or aggressive and other things like that. It can also be a lack of self-knowledge. If you haven't paused and taken the time to really identify who you are, what your personal vision is, what your strengths are, what your values are, and to use those touchstones as your markers and milestones along the path, it can be really easy to fall into those pitfalls. Another one is the fear of failure, the fear of getting it wrong. And so if you're not trusting yourself, particularly if you're feeling the doubt or feeling like an imposter, it can feel that I will wait and see what happens and I'll make my choices from there. Or even, I don't know the way through. So, she seems to have it more together. I'll do what she does. Okay. Another one can be that you have an overcomplicated business model. I see this so much with my clients where what we need to actually do is go in and prune things and get some clarity on what they're wanting to achieve. But they've got so many services and so many options that it's really hard to get intentional. And they do that adopting of other people's ideas and strategies that does not lead them to where they want to go. So the contrast with this passive drifting and this mimic mode is, as I said, intentional action. Now, there are 4 steps that are involved here that I suggest that you adopt and adapt. The first one is discern. So this is all about working out what is your North Star. It's very difficult to set a course of action if you don't really know where you're going. It's much like Alice in Wonderland when she met the Cheshire Cat and she asked, which of these 2 paths should I take? And the Cheshire Cat said, well, where do you want to go? And Alice said, well, I don't really know. To which the cat said, of course, well, it doesn't matter which path you take. So it's very important to discern where you don't want to go, what you're not willing to do, what doesn't interest you, what is not the direction for you. When you discern what you don't want, it becomes much easier to define, which is step 2, what you do want. So defining means setting the goals that are in alignment and will leverage your skills, your strengths, your values, the vision that you're wanting to create. So defining those goals then allows you to move on to step 3, which is to develop. Now, this is where strategies come in. Now I know what I'm not wanting to do. I know who I am and I know where I'm going. I've defined the destination. Now I can develop the strategies that, again, leverage your skills, leverage your strengths, leverage your values to put together the strategies to take you on that journey. And then, of course, that means you're now in delivery mode. That's step 4, actually taking action on a sustained way to take you to that goal. Now, when it comes to the deliver side, it really depends on where are you in your life stages? Where are you? What season are you operating in? Are we going to be working on a 90-day sprint? Am I taking into account the other people in my world that my actions can also have an impact on? It's a really big picture, but those 4 steps will definitely help you break out of passive drifting, break out of mimicking others. And this is the core of self-leadership. It is about owning your authority. And that first core principle of self-knowledge is intimately interacting with intentional action. Because when you know who you are and what is important to you and what you want to achieve, creating intentional action becomes far easier. So I hope this has been a catalyst for your own thinking, perhaps an awakening to knock you back onto the path of where it is that you are destined to move to in your career or in your business. If you'd like to know more, go across and visit my website, angelaraspass.com.au, and I'll be back again next week with another self-leadership snippet. Until then, take care.